Ciao, guys. Welcome back to the Artful Podcast. It's Matteo, your host. And before we go on with the new episode, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, support the channel like that. It's really important. And no further ado, let's go on with the show. In this new episode of the Artful Podcast, guys, we have Hannah with us, a great artist that I met through Instagram. She does lovely portrait. They're really interesting, and that's why I invited you to talk to me and explain what's behind your paintings. Hello, Hannah. Before
Hello.
we start talking about your practice, why don't you introduce yourself? What's your background? If you have any studies, where you're from, and that's it.
Okay, so I'm living in Ireland. Originally, I'm from Poland, and I got degree from the visual BA degree from the visual communication, which is kind of like graphic design.
Mm, mm. Graphic design. I'm a graphic designer myself. I started studying in Italy, graphic design.
Yes.
Um, yeah, that's how I started. So did you move to Ireland for any specific reason, or it was just you were traveling?
Uh, Not really. I didn't. I just want to leave my country,
Mm.
basically.
You
I
wanted to?
wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't feeling much comfortable living in my country, so I was looking for a better place.
Nice, nice. Yeah, well, I left Italy when I was 19, so yeah, I understand completely. As soon as I could leave my country, that's what I did the same.
Yeah.
Um, did you leave? Do you always wanted to be an artist?
Uh, my mother, she's an artist. She's a
Nice.
painter. So probably I've got it from her. I've been watching her painting and, just kind of she
Your life.
influenced. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice. So was always in you, and do you think was one of the reason why you decided to leave your country as well to pursuing the artist path, or it
Yeah,
was
I think
something?
so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because that was probably one of the reason I couldn't see myself living in Poland and be artist there. To be honest, it's quite maybe now it's different, but when I
Mm,
was much younger, it was you had to had like specific degree and know people. So for me, it was impossible to be like a full-time artist at the time.
I understand. Yeah, yeah, the same for me as well. I never really decided to be an artist. Well, I was drawing and painting when I was a kid. So it was always there in me, but I never really I was okay. I want to be an artist when I was in Italy. I think because you get a little bit discouraged seeing the situation, the economical situation that you're not gonna be able to make money out of art
Yeah,
in where I'm from. Um, so I was never like, okay, I want to be an artist, like 100%. But then obviously when you leave and then you manage to find a job and find yourself, you have money to spend to create
mm,
your artwork. So it's more encouraging for you to be like, okay, I want to do this now full time.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah. So let's jump into your practice. I saw your portrait. They are great. I was really interested by how you could you make those paintings, because people will see some picture during these interviews, so they will understand better what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But at the same time, I would like you to explain what's your usual routine. So how do you start a painting? What's your first step, and then the last, like, what's the whole process?
Okay, so I usually start from the random image which I found on internet. Uh, it's it need to catch my attention. So mostly it will be eyes. I start from eyes, and my goal is just to go with the flow. I never trying to recreate what's already exists. I just want to make something new. So when I start with the image, I have like some sort of like a basic idea, but I never have a plan how this will go or how this will end up, you know. So during my process, you will see that the image is changing, you know, and that's why I'm using acrylics, because acrylics dry quickly, and sometimes I'm using even hair dryer to make the layer dry so I can put another layer. And it's kind of like a sculpture.
Mm-hmm.
So you you never know what will comes out from this. What will be the final result? You never know. I never know. You know, so it just on some point I'm making decision that that's the painting is finished.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you that's interesting because for me when I paint I never really find that point that this like that the this that this the point. I never find myself in that situation where I'm like, okay, I'm done with the painting. I
Mm-hmm.
could always add something. I can always adjust something. Um, it's really difficult for me personally to distract myself and be like, okay, I'm done. I literally need to put the painting away. Like I need to wrap it and take picture, wrap it, and then put away because I don't want to see it because if I see it, then I want to do more work on it. So it's really interesting that you find that okay, I'm done with the painting. I want to move on to something else. It's really interesting. Um, how long do you usually takes for you to start and finish a painting?
Uh, Usually it's like altogether 2-3 hours.
Nice, nice.
If
Yeah,
it's,
that I was asking that.
like a
Yeah, I was asking
sketch.
because it seems like a really quick, instantaneous process. So it's something
Yeah,
that needs to happen now. And that
yeah, yeah,
it's
exactly.
that's really short amount of time to make a painting and to finish a painting. Um, and it's impressive. Um, why did you choose painting? First of all, let's go with that. Why did you choose painting and not maybe drawing or printmaking? Why do you think painting it's the best for you?
Uh, I think it's this kind of connection which I have with material. It's like
Mm,
when you're doing something on the computer, it can be fun, obviously, but you're not really get dirty, you know. You're not really getting into the thing, you know.
yeah, I
I
like that.
don't know how to explain it. I think
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you're an artist, you definitely know what you mean. It's the be involved and like the actual physical
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah way of express yourself. It's important for me. It's the same.
Yeah.
I play around with graphic with the photoshops and
Mm,
the like digital art and um
mm,
it's a way for me to just spend some time and be creative in a way. But if I want to make something that I want to be proud of, it's gonna be a physical canvas
yeah,
drawing stuff like that. um
exactly.
so um how long have you been painting?
Like a full time will be 10 years now.
Full time, 10
But
years full time?
yeah, yeah. Before I've been like you mentioned, like as you leaving your country and moving, you have to start like you know, a normal job
Mm,
from 9 to 5 or something. So I
yeah.
was working like I had different jobs in different corporations, and so then I settled down, and I had this opportunity to do it like a full time, and I use it.
That's great. That's great. 10 years. Did you expect yourself to be still doing that when you decide? Did you have a moment where like, okay, should I start carry on doing painting, or should I just decide to start a new job, different things?
You mean like after I quit like a
Yeah, after you
job?
decided to go full time and be a painter, because the struggle of doing art and selling art, obviously that's one of the
Yeah,
things you need to sell because
yeah,
that's how
yeah,
we live
all the time. All the time.
all the time. Yeah, the feeling.
It's like what I'm doing, it's like a roller coaster,
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Some days you're like, oh, this is great. This is the best life, and some days you're like, what am I doing? Why am I like torturing myself
yeah,
to
yeah,
to do this
yeah.
life?
It seems to be like people think it's nice to be artist and you are somewhere, but you have to be very focused, and it's like lots of uh, uh, artist job, lots of
Mm,
like which is nice part, but you have to focus a lot on the marketing stuff as well, which I don't really like.
yeah, it's always hard to sell yourself um
Mm,
as an artist because usually that's what artists usually are. They're really like reserved, and they don't like talking about their art. But it's one of the things that you definitely need to
yeah,
know to do when you are a full-time artist. Try to sell yourself.
yeah.
So okay, painting. But why did you choose portrait? Um, or yeah, in that particular way of painting, why did you choose portrait and not landscape or anything like that? For me, for example, when I do portrait, because that's what I'm keen to do more all the time.
Mhm.
It's because I want to tell a story. Most of the time, there is a story behind. There is a reason why I'm doing a portrait. Why is that for you?
I would say it's similar. There's always some story behind the painting, and uh, I am not very uh, okay, how to say it. I'm not very good with people, so for me, it's good way to express myself
Oh,
in that way. You know?
that, that's
So
great.
there I can get the dialogue with the audience, with people who see my works. So it's nice to talk with someone about the piece, what they see in my work, and that's what brings me joy.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Great. So it's a way for you to connect with
with
people
people.
outside your your group of like friends or people that you know already.
Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. So what does it inspire you to do a particular portrait? Is um is that the story? Is that you said you start usually from the eyes. Is that what that capture you, and then from there you develop your paintings?
Yeah.
What does inspire you to paint, basically?
Uh, it's like, okay, it's something which okay, I believe that when you paint, it's sort of like a mindfulness process.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever is in your head, it you kind of showing to the world. And it's the same from the other side, from the viewer side. It's like the viewer might see what I see, or might see something completely different what happened in this particular person moment in life. I don't know
Yeah.
if this makes sense.
Yeah,
Like,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
because we all have our journey, we all have our obstacles, we all have our different emotions and stuff. So maybe i'm I'm going through some process in my life, some faults and stuff, and someone might go through something similar, but someone might go through something very different. But and then the how you say, the comments will be totally different. People
Yeah.
might see at work something that's totally different, because they will see my works through their own experience,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
It's so is interesting for you to see what people connect, even if they go through different stuff in life, and what they see in your paintings. You might have a really particular emotion connect to that
Yeah,
painting, but you're really interesting as well in somebody that sees completely different things and
yeah,
connects to the painting in that way, and that's for you really, it's really interesting to see in the audience
it's,
what they see. That's yeah, that's super curious all the time, because when you do exhibitions and you're there and you talk to people, you sometimes you even realize that, oh yeah, that's in there, that's in the painting, it's what you see as well.
yeah.
But in your head when you did the painting was not anything near near of what you were thinking. That's always super interesting as an artist, super interesting
Mm.
to see. When my question after would be, do you like to explain um, your portrait, your paintings to the audience, or do you rather see what their connection is to the painting without you to like explaining what it's about?
Well, I'm not a fan of doing this, to
Hmm.
explain it, but if someone asks me, I can do it. But it's like we just said, it's better for the viewer to give their opinion. You know, it's like you're doing something and you're doing okay. You're painting for yourself, but at the same time you're painting for people, for
Mm-hmm.
world. It's like you want to share with people, you want to give something to people, right? Some experience, to awake something in them. So it's nice for me to see that people actually have their own dialogue with art, with the piece.
I like that. Yeah, it's true.
Mm.
So it's always really nice to see what people sees in your art. Um, so when you're not painting, um do you do a lot of like sketching, drawings, quick drawing, stuff like that, or is there something that in your process it's not really there? It's just jump into painting, and what's the emotion is the painting about? That's what you go for.
Yeah, I don't have any sketchbooks, so sometimes people ask me,
Yeah.
I don't have anything to show. So if I want to do something quick, I paint ink on paper.
Hmm.
I'm using technique, ink and water, mixing ink, watercolor on paper. So it's like, you can say it's kind of
Yeah.
sketch, but not really, you know? So
Hmm.
yeah.
So because of that, because usually when you do a portrait or um, you're kind of planning your paintings as well with your style. It's not really something that I'm expecting you to do, because it seems really like a quick emotional painting based on movement and stuff like that. So do you have a starting point? Meaning, do you take picture of people? Do you go online, search for images, how to start your painting, or is completely like from zero to your finished product?
So in regards of canvas, I choosing like a random image, and then the process goes. But on paper, it's just like starting with eyes. I think I have few tutorials on Instagrams. So it's just like eyes, and the ink, it's so nice to work with that you don't actually need to do much because it works itself. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just, you just add some water and it's just there, so you don't have to really be focused on techniques or something. It's just create itself.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I love ink. I used to use a lot of like ink with charcoal. So I used to do a base drawing with ink, and then excuse me, refine the drawing with like charcoal pencil and stuff like that. Um, oh yeah, maybe something that you do is do you only usually use acrylic, or do you sometimes do mixed media and try different approach to your painting?
I think sometimes I just add some collage,
Hmm.
so on paper or gold leaf. But no, it's just I decided the acrylic are the best for me. I've been painting with oil, but I don't have a patience to wait to dry, and it's not for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you need a quick approach to your art, which is super nice. Um, I was a little bit more like that. It's more it's can take a couple of weeks as well to do a painting, um, which is well, yeah. I think that's my style. I'm more comfortable in doing that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
Everyone have different yeah.
yeah. What's your plan for the future? Do you have any exhibition planned that you're preparing for, or you're just painting at the moment?
Probably I'll have some exhibition in the UK, in Swindon, uh,
Hmm.
probably January or February, and uh, maybe some art fair summertime.
Mm,
Uh, this year I focus on my studio because it's my new project to have this studio. So I had to settle down here as well. But next year, I think I will do more like physical exhibitions. Yeah.
nice. Do you I don't want to take too much time out of your day. Do you want to plug your Instagram or your website if you have one, so can people can go and see and check it out?
You
Is
want me
a
to
is a Anna Matt Art?
Anna Matykiewicz? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
I will put all the links in the description so people can
Oh,
just go and click and go see your beautiful paintings.
thank you.
um, Thank you very much, Anna, to be part of the podcast. It was a lovely conversation. It's always great to explore different artists, and especially because it's so different from what I do and how I work. It's really I'm really happy to talk to people like that when I have the chance. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Take care.